1000 value, it will become still larger. So the only idea behind change of origin and scale is that can we reduce the dimension. So it is like in one line I can say technical part today that this is a dimensionality reduction technique. Remember my example which I have given you earlier. I have to give you 100 rupees. I can give in so many ways. So what I do, I just take the x variable, whatever is my data, subtract the value a. Now once again I will remind you, a is generally taken in the center of the data because it is assumed that most of the values are concentrated or they have a tendency to move towards the center. So of course a can be an arbitrary point, we say it, but generally a is not taken in the beginning or in the end of the data. So this is the guideline which I wanted to give you, that A and B here, they are all arbitrary numbers, but generally they are taken in the middle of the data so that you can reduce the dimension. That is one aspect. And H and K are just like the change of scale. So whatever, suppose your X data is from 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. So you can divide it by 10. And suppose Y data is say 0 to 5, 5 to 10. So you can divide it by 5. It is not necessary that H and K should be same. Yes, they can be. It is ultimately the experimenter's choice. The basic idea which you have to keep in your mind is that your data dimension is reduced to single digit if possible, like 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3, and so on. Because some of the values will be positive, some of the values will be negative, because we are shifting it to the center point. So I have written here A, B, H, and K are some constants. Though we say that they are arbitrarily chosen, but generally we choose with some idea in the mind. Now we just look at here. We cross multiply here. Where is my cursor? So it will become HU is equal to X minus A. So from here you can write X is equal to A you take on this side. So X will become A plus HU. Similarly, Y can become B plus KV. Now I am using the word which I don't know whether you have studied in probability theory. The letter E stands for expectation. Have you studied it? Have you studied expectation in probability paper? Hello? Hello?
No, sir.
Have you
Yes,
studied?
sir.
Okay, okay, good, good. I just wanted to know because if you have studied, it's easy for me. Otherwise, I can give you a working knowledge that what is the idea of expectation. So if you have studied, it simplifies my task. So assuming that you have studied expected value, so what is the expected value of x? And you know that the expected value of a constant is the constant itself. So if I run expectation on both the sides here, it will be expected value of x is equal to expected value of a plus h times expected value of u. But you know that a is a constant, h is a constant. So expectation actually will run only on the variable u because u is a variable. So from here you can write expected value of x is equal to a plus h times expected value of u. Similarly, there is no rectification. Gokanpatti na chale. Whatever you are writing for x, immediately you can write for y with the same logic. So expected value of y will be simply b plus k times expected value of v. Now you have two expressions. One expression is expect x value and another is expected value of x. Similarly, you have expression for y and you have the expected value of y. Now we just take the difference of these two terms. So if I write x minus expected value of x, so what will happen? A will get cancelled with a because of the minus sign. H I can take common and then this will be u minus expected value of u. Now this part you can write without any without applying much labor. If I can write for x, I can write for y. Just replace x by y and u by v. You get directly this expression, or even you can just subtract. It's very simple. So what I can get, y minus expected value of y is k times v minus expected value of v. Now there is one more formula of covariance. One formula we have discussed yesterday, which was in the form of the summation that 1 upon n summation of xi minus x bar into yi minus y bar. That is one formula. We have another formula for the covariance in terms of expectations. So how do you write covariance between any two variable x and y? That is written as expected value of x minus expected value of x into y minus expected value of y. I hope you have studied. If not, you will study. So don't worry. This is a very standard form. And again, I must tell you what is the variance of x is written as expected value of x minus expected value of x whole square. That is also a very well known and common formula. So anyways, what is the covariance between x and y? Now x and y we are writing here in this form. X minus expected value of x we have obtained here, just line above this. You can just write here expected value of h times u minus expected value of u, and then for y minus expected value of y substitute from here. So it will be k times v minus expected value of v. Now again h and k are constant, so I can take it outside, h into k. And now this is just replacement of x and y with u and v. So it is just u minus expected value of u into v minus expected value of v. So it is just a notational change, but the formula is just in terms of expectation. So this whole term within the braces or within the curly bracket is actually the covariance between u and v. So that is what we are writing here. This is covariance between u and v. So what you get in one line? Covariance between x and y is equal to h into k times covariance between u and v. Now recall your results of the measures of dispersion, where we have proved that the variance is independent of change of origin but not of scale. So if I am trying to find out the variance of u, and then again you want to find out the variance back in terms of x, so you have studied that becomes h square times sigma square u. And whatever I am writing here for x, again without any labor, you can write just by understanding that if I replace x by y, u will be replaced by v. That will be simply sigma square y is equal to h square sigma v square. So we have covariance between x and y, we have variance of x, we have variance of y. Now let us go back to the basic definition of the correlation between x and y, which is we have seen only yesterday. So what is by definition the correlation between x and y? The correlation is covariance upon under root variance of x variance of y. So what is the covariance here? We have proved covariance between x and y is hk covariance uv divided by, if you take square root, of course the squares will go. So this will be h times sigma u, k times sigma v. Now you know I have also cancelled here. It gets cancelled. So what you are left out? You are left out with covariance between u and v divided by sigma u, sigma v. This is just again I am replacing notation x and y with u and v. So it doesn't matter. This will be now the correlation of u and v. But now look at the right hand side and the left hand side. What is the left hand side? So this is the correlation between xy, which you have proved that this is the correlation between u and v. That is what we have written in the box. That is rxy is equal to ruv. This is a great result. Why I am saying is a great result, you can understand that I had changed actually x to u and y to v, and I have calculated the correlation between x and y. I want the correlation between x and y, but I have calculated the correlation between u and v, but they are same. So what is the message? Message is very clear. If I change x to u and y to v, and if I find out the correlation, it is not going to change. And it's a very big deal, which is stated in one sentence in language part only. What it says, it simply shows that the correlation coefficient is independent of change of origin and scale both. This is a great result. Very few measures are there in statistical analysis which are free from the change of origin and scale both. So now before I proceed further, you remember 3 points very clearly in your mind. Number 1, we have calculated central tendency measure and we have calculated the arithmetic mean. We have applied the concept of change of origin and scale there also, and we have seen that mean is affected by change of origin and scale both. It is affected. Next was measure of dispersion. We have calculated variance. Now what we have observed in the case of variance, that it is affected by scale, not by the origin. Now moving on to bivariate analysis, analytical. If you go to bivariate analysis and if you have calculated correlation, this sixth remark is very important. When I say very important, it is important from every angle. It is important concept wise, it is important exam wise, whatever you feel so. So this is a measure which is independent of change of origin and scale both, and it's a great property. You will realize it when you will have the bivariate data in thousands, and you are asked to calculate the correlation using calculator, not Excel. Even in Excel also you can do it, but that idea here is that that simplifies my calculation to great extent. And that is, once again I repeat, the philosophy behind the change of origin and scale. Anybody wants to ask anything up to this point? Because I am going to move to the next topic in the same unit. किसी को भी कुछ पूछना है यहाँ तक? Any doubt at any step?
No, sir.
Okay. सिर्फ एक ही नो सुनाई दिया, कोई बात नहीं. I hope that most of you are following. If there is any difficulty, please do not hesitate. Right. I can see there are 53 good attendees now in the class. तो काफ़ी अच्छी स्ट्रेंथ है आज आपकी. कल भी आप थे करीब 50-52 के बीच में. So doesn't matter. Sometimes it happens that सर से अभी क्या पूछे हैं समझ में आ रहा है. But when you refer back, you may have some doubt or you may not have some doubt. I am not saying. Don't worry. Any time you are free to ask. Okay. So with this idea that you have little bit understanding of what we have discussed, these 5-6 remarks, that what is the idea of very quick, just कल ही हुआ है फिर भी मैं आपको एक बहुत जल्दी से बता देता हूँ. Very quick idea that correlation, Pearsonian correlation coefficient, because it was given by Karl Pearson, measures the linear relationship. This is a counter example. Second was zero correlation does not imply that they are not correlated. Then we have spurious correlation. Then we have the idea of coefficient of determination. We have the limits. These two, fifth and sixth remark are very, very important. Once again, I repeat that the correlation lies between -1 to +1 is a fundamental result, and the correlation coefficient is independent of change of origin and scale both. Both of the results are very important. Anyways, so with this remark, we move on to the next topic. So now I am going to talk about something like what we call as the rank correlation. Now, what is the need and why it is done and who proposed it? Now, again, I will take you back to my very few first lectures, where actually we were discussing about the type of data, the nature of the data. And there is a broad classification, which I have told you several times, that the data can be classified as a quantitative data or a qualitative data. Now, can you give me, anyone from the class, can you give me some idea or some example of a data which is qualitative? आपके हिसाब से, any example? You give me an example of a data which is qualitative. क्वेश्चन समझ में आया? हाँ, तो बताइए मुझे, कोई भी आप बताइए एक क्वालिटेटिव डेटा का कोई भी एग्जांपल दीजिए, कोई पण दाखिला આપો क्वालिटेटिव डेटा માટે.
સર હાઈટ વેટ
હાઈટ તો મેજર થઈ શકે ને, તમારી હાઈટ કેટલી છે?
Sir, the student is pass or fail.
હા,
The result of the student.
દાખલા તરીકે હા એવું બને, પણ that is not a quality. ઓકે, તમે કહી શકો કે જે ફેલ થાય છે એ ભણતા નથી. ઓકે, on the lighter side, student can pass or fail. That is categorical. That is not क्वालिटेटिव. ऑफ कोर्स इट्स इन सम वे इट इज क्वालिटेटिव, नो डाउट. आप पास होते हैं, आपको गोल्ड मेडल मिलता है, अच्छी बात है.
Honesty of a person.
हाँ, यस, वेरी गुड. ऑनेस्टी ऑफ ए पर्सन यू कैनॉट मेजर. किसने जवाब दिया?
Sir, Vaishali.
वैशाली. एक
Yes,
मिनट अपना
sir.
वीडियो ऑन करो.
सर मेरे यहाँ नेट का प्रॉब्लम है तो
अच्छा,
वीडियो
कोई
ऑन
बात
नहीं होगा.
कोई बात नहीं, नहीं चाहिए मुझे. मैं जस्ट एक्चुअली आप लोगों से मैं अभी तक, या आप लोग भी मुझसे अभी तक मिले ही नहीं है फिजिकली. पता नहीं मिल भी पाएंगे या नहीं. तो मुझे कभी कभी जानने की इच्छा होती है आप सबके बारे में. ऐसा नहीं कि जो जवाब दे रहे हैं, सभी के बारे में. आई एम वेरी मच इंटरेस्टेड टू नो अबाउट माई स्टूडेंट्स, राइट? बट दैट इज अ वेरी गुड आंसर. Honesty is a quality. Either you are honest or you are not honest. You cannot say that I am 20 kilogram honest. Can you measure honesty? Quantify? नहीं कर सकते आप. तो इट्स एक वर्ड पकड़ो ना. व्हाट इज द वर्ड? क्वालिटेटिव. ये वर्ड कहाँ से आया? क्वालिटी से आया. जैसे क्वांटिटेटिव जब तुम कहते हो तो क्वांटिटेटिव कहाँ से आया वर्ड? सर, द वर्ड हैज कम फ्रॉम द वर्ड क्वांटिटी. क्वांटिटी का मतलब ही होता है कि एक नंबर. जैसे अभी किसी ने एग्जांपल दिया हाइट. हाइट को तो तुम कह सकते हो ना कि भाई 5 फीट 10 इंच मेरी हाइट है. हाँ, अगर हाइट में ही अगर आप ये कहें कि वो लंबा है और वो छोटा है, टॉल या डॉर्फ, दैट इज ए क्वालिटी. कि आप अगर आपकी हाइट बहुत ज्यादा है, यू आर ए टॉल पर्सन, दैट इज ए क्वालिटी. एंड इफ यू आर ए शॉर्ट पर्सन, दैट इज ऑल्सो ए क्वालिटी. So height itself can be qualitative, can be quantitative, depending upon how you have collected the data. कि आपने उसको नंबर दे रखा है या आपने उसको क्वालिटी में दे रखा है. सो देर आर सेवरल वेरिएबल्स इन योर रियल लाइफ सिचुएशन विच आर एक्चुअली क्वालिटेटिव बाय नेचर. से ऑनेस्टी है, ब्यूटी है, इंटेलिजेंस है, राइट? या जैसे आपका फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू हैव, आई डोंट नो वेदर यू स्टडीड और नॉट, बट देर इज समथिंग लाइक जेनेटिकल फैक्टर that the color of hair of Indians is generally black. You have a black color people. You don't have a golden hair color people in India. You will find golden hair color people in Europe or USA. That is a quality there, country wise. So my data can be qualitative also. Or suppose we are just having a exam where there is some viva voce is going on, and of course we give some number, but then you must have seen that in all the results there is something like they call it AIR, that is called All India Rank. आपका ऑल इंडिया रैंक क्या है? तो सपोज यू आर अ टॉपर, तो आपका ऑल इंडिया रैंक नंबर 1, मतलब आपसे ऊपर नंबर किसी का नहीं है. तो नंबर तो है, बट दैट इज रैंक्ड. एंड द मोमेंट इट इज रैंक्ड, ऑफ कोर्स इट इज ए नंबर और ए क्वांटिटी, बट द रैंकिंग कैसे हुई होगी? जिसके मार्क्स सबसे ज्यादा है, या जो आदमी सबसे ज्यादा ऑनेस्ट था उसको मैंने रैंक 1 दिया. या जैसे आपने देखा होगा ब्यूटी कॉन्टेस्ट होते हैं बहुत सारे, स्टेट लेवल से लेकर के इंटरनेशनल, मिस ब्यूटी, मिस वर्ल्ड एंड मिस यूनिवर्स और पता नहीं क्या क्या. ए लॉट ऑफ स्टैटिस्टिक्स इज अप्लाइड देयर इन मिस इंडिया एंड मिस अहमदाबाद एंड ऑल दैट. कि there are certain panel of judges sitting and they ask certain questions and then the participants give the answer and then you give certain rank. So rank is just, of course you will say that sir it is a number, yes, but that rank is given based on certain qualities. Say for example आपकी क्लास में किस स्टूडेंट की हाइट सबसे ज्यादा है, तो अगर उसके हाइट के हिसाब से हम रैंकिंग कर रहे हैं सभी स्टूडेंट का, तो हर स्टूडेंट का कोई रैंक आएगा. So the idea here is that in the real life, whatever we have discussed so far in terms of Pearsonian correlation coefficient, it was related to quantitative data where there is no ranking and there is no quality. Okay, sir, if my data is like that there is no order, there is no ranking, and it is measurable in some number, Pearsonian correlation works very good. But in real life, it is not necessary that my data will be always quantitative. My data can be a qualitative data. At the most, what we can do for the qualitative data is that we can provide certain rank. Now, this was the idea of a person known as Spearman. And that is why our course, if you will see the syllabus also, and I will also tell you just now, This is known as Pearsonian correlation coefficient, number one. Second, what I am going to discuss now is known as Spearman's correlation coefficient. Again, the logic is same. It is in the honor of the person who gave this idea. So now actually the next topic what we are going to discuss is the idea of the rank correlation. What is this and how it is discussed? So this is what my opening remark was, and it is like this. So far we have discussed the correlation between two variables, quantitative. Fine, above discussion will help you. But however, as I told you just now with few examples, sometimes the data on the two variables are given in the form of the ranks of the two variables based on some criterion. Say for example, your height is a criteria, your marks is a criteria, your intelligence, your honesty, your beauty, your understanding, your any other characteristic. So there is some criteria which I am not saying which criteria. So in this case, the correlation can be measured by the formula given by Spearman, and therefore, and hence, it is known as Spearman's correlation. Okay. So what is the formula? Just now I'll tell you. It is defined as RS. S is just a suffix from Spearman's S. यहाँ से एक letter ले लिया गया. Just to distinguish, you can by notation also you can, मान लीजिए आपको notation ही लिखा हो RXY, so you should understand that we are talking about Pearsonian correlation, because there we are talking about X and Y or Y or X, and we have seen just above that RXY is equal to RYX. But if we suffix R by S, that means this is the Spearman. And the moment I am talking about RS, I am talking about not correlation, I am talking about the rank correlation. So we write like this. This is the formula 1 minus 6 times summation over I is equal to 1 to n di square upon n into n square minus 1 question mark. Sir, how did you get it? Don't worry, we will prove it. I repeat, we will prove it. But let me tell you one thing. There are two things we have to understand. One is 1, 6 is a number. Sir, what is this di? Di is the difference in the ranks of the ith individual or the unit. Say for example, I have just given you the example of a beauty contest or say a selection committee where you are appearing for an interview, personal interview, and there are 4 or 5 persons who are sitting. And suppose one candidate comes, and suppose the expert A or the judge A gives you rank 5. The second judge gives you rank 7. The third judge gives you rank 1. And suppose there is a fourth judge who gives you suppose the rank 10. Of course, we can make comparison only pairwise. We cannot compare all the four together. But suppose what is the difference in the opinion or the difference in the ranking of any two judges? So that is DI. DI is the difference in, suppose expert number 1 gives me rank number 5 and expert number 3, suppose I am comparing 1 and 3, gives the rank number 7. So the difference is 5 minus 7 or something like that. So DI, what is DI? DI is the difference in the rank of the ith individual, or sometimes we rank certain units also. It depends, right? We simply sometimes rank the cities also, not only the individual, that which city is safest in terms of investment, rank it. So there are so many studies conducted by Economic Times and Financial Times that they say that, okay, these cities are safest for some your living standard or security point of view or your investment purpose or whatever it may be. So in that sense, I am saying that it can be just some unit also. This city is safe. People say like that. So DI is the difference in the ranks of the ith individual or a unit. What is the one thing which is more appearing in the formula? N is very simple. N is the number of individuals or units. And again, because this is a rank correlation coefficient again, so we have proved earlier, so we can just say that this rank correlation will also lie between -1 to +1. What is the interpretation? We'll come back. Rs is equal to -1 means perfect disagreement in the rank, and Rs plus 1, you should just imagine, Rs plus 1 means what? All this term goes to 0. Only then it will be plus 1. This term will go to 0 when? N will never be 0 because it's a number of individual. This will become 1 when di is 0. But what is di? Di is xi minus yi. And if I xi is equal to yi, that means the rank by the first judge is same as the rank by the second judge. That is suppose xi yi, and that is 0. That means there is no difference in the ranks. In that case, this di will go to 0. And in that case, it remains 1. Similarly, we can prove it for other value of -1. But sir, before that, how did you get this formula? So we are going to derive this derivation of the formula. Karl Pearson correlation coefficient was just, we have also in a way we have derived it in the sense that we have just used the basic formula of the variances and the covariances. And we got very simply the formula that summation xi yi minus n times x bar y bar divided by under root of variance of x and variance of y. We have just plugged in the values of the variances and the covariances. But here what are you doing? This is the formula. So let us see how we are going to derive it. So as usual, let xi yi I is equal to 1 to n be the rank. Now remember, again I am writing that this is the rank and hence the name rank correlation. Because we are finding out the correlation between the ranks of the two. Therefore, the name why it is called rank correlation. This is the reason that xi yi are not the data themselves. This is the ranked value of the data. Okay. So let xi yi I is equal to 1 to n be the ranks of the ith individual in two characteristics respectively. So it is characteristic like maybe as I told you that suppose you are appearing in a selection committee and your answer or your responses are the characteristic. And suppose one teacher is one judge and another teacher is another judge and I am giving you certain rank. So the individual is same, but there are two persons who are evaluating you. So it can be with respect to any characteristic like your beauty, your intelligence, your performance, and so on and so forth. Now, it may happen in real life. It may happen in real life that suppose I am giving rank 3 to the individual number 5. And again, suppose some individual comes, next individual, and he or she also performs almost equally good as the previous one. So again, I can give the rank 3 to the next person also. This is called a tie. I hope you understand what is a tie. And it happens in many cases. Suppose even in your scores or your percentage, do you think or do you know that you have only scored 99 percentile? There are 10,000 students across the country who have scored 99 percentile. So they are all having the rank same rank. Or suppose if you don't go to that large number, suppose in a class of 50 students, it may happen that any two students may have the same percentage. Even in your class, if you collect the data, you may get this type of information. What was your percentage or what was your percentile in 12th exam? Sir, 72. I am also having 72. Now, how I am going to rank? If I am ranking 72 at say 4th rank, then again the next person who has got 72 will also be ranked at the 4th. So this formula is very important with a concept of a remark that Spearman rank correlation calculation can be done only in case of there is no tie in the data. This is very important. So obviously one question will come to your mind that how can you say in real life that there will be no tie in the data? There may be ties. If there are ties, then what? Then we shall see. Don't worry. But this is an assumption. And you know that there are many results which are proved under certain assumptions. And that is not only in statistics, in many cases. I'll give you a very simple example. I hope all of you have studied Boyle's law in physics. What is that Boyle's law? Pressure is inversely proportional to volume. What is the condition? If anybody can recall and you have studied physics at all? Because I think you are also SMP group students, ना? आपका सेकंड सब्जेक्ट फिजिक्स है या क्या है दूसरा?
सर जियोलॉजी।
अच्छा जियोलॉजी। अच्छा कोई बात नहीं, लेट अस फॉरगेट। ओके ओके
Second
ओके
maths, sir. First geology.
हाँ हाँ ठीक है,
Last
गुड गुड,
geology.
नो प्रॉब्लम नो प्रॉब्लम। स्कूल में कहीं फिजिक्स पढ़ा है आप लोगों ने?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
यस सर।
Yes.
हाँ तो
Yes,
दिस इज वेरी
sir.
सिंपल। हाँ बिल्कुल स्कूल लेवल की बात मैं आपसे पूछ रहा हूँ कि प्रेशर और वॉल्यूम के बीच व्हाट इज द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन प्रेशर एंड वॉल्यूम, ये व्हाट इज द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन टेम्परेचर। पीवी इज इक्वल टू एनआरटी। अच्छा ओके, चलो जो भी आपने पढ़ा हो। So that is a kind of constant. Pressure into volume is a kind of constant. The condition there is, let us not waste time, is that the temperature is constant. If temperature is not constant, Boyle's law will not hold. So that is just one example from physics. I can give another example from medicine or maybe from biostatistics. You must have seen that there are certain medical equipments or certain medicines equipment छोड़ दो, they have to be kept under refrigeration. Or even let me take the example of recent, which everybody is watching TV nowadays, that COVID vaccine has come and that Pfizer COVID vaccine has to be kept at minus 70 degrees Celsius. So that is a condition. If I cannot maintain minus 70 degree, that vaccine will not work because its molecular property will change. So this is just I wanted to tell you that not only in statistics or not only in terms of your data analysis that you are making certain assumptions. There are many real life situations where you make assumptions for various things. So this, coming back to this discussion, we have used here, I have written no ties. So remember one thing. What is the message? The message is Spearman rank correlation can be used if and only if the ranks are different. Every unit has got a different rank. No two units have the same rank. That is the meaning of ties. So we have written here. What I have written? Assuming that no individual has the same rank. This is the whole story जिसके लिए मैंने आपको इतनी लंबी कहानी सुना, right? That is, there are no ties. Okay, if there are no ties and every individual can be given only one value of a rank, and suppose there are n individuals, n can be any number, n can be 50, n can be 100, n can be 200, whatever the data you are collecting. So what is x value or what is the x data? X can go from 1 to n. Similarly, y can also go from 1 to n. So let us try to understand that what will be the structure of data in case of ranking. Because in other case, the data can be anything. Na? Suppose 542, 572, 682, 890, 992. That is my x value. Similarly, my y value can be say 1000, 1200, 1500 and so on. So x and y can take any value in terms of quantitative data. But when we talk about the qualitative data, and that too if it is a ranked data, what are the possible values of x and y? They are more or less fixed. Why they are fixed? Because sir, these are the ranks and we are giving the rank from 1 to n. So if I write in one column x and if I write y in other column, so what I can write that x takes value from 1 to n, y takes also value from 1 to n. This is how I have written. Then x and y may take the values 1, 2, 3 and so on up to n. If this is so, what is x bar? Remember that we have discussed that x bar is just summation over I is equal to 1 to n, 1 upon n. So this is x1, x2, x3 and so on. So what is the x bar value? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus and so on up to n. Do you recall this formula? This is the sum of the first n natural numbers. This you have studied in mathematics. पढ़ा है या नहीं? Have you studied this?
Yes, sir.
What is that
Yes,
formula?
sir.
Good. What? Of course I have written. तो आप देख रहे होंगे यहाँ पे. सबको पता है कि हाँ, that is n into n plus 1 by 2. Do you recall this? याद आता है?
Yes, yes, sir.
हाँ,
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
very
Yes.
good. Very good.
Yes,
So
sir.
what I'm हाँ, thank you. So what I'm writing, whether it is x bar or whether it is y bar, I am taking the summation of these values only. अभी एक मिनट के लिए 1 upon n को छोड़ दो, ठीक है? तो this is just 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus कहाँ तक जाएंगे आप? n तक जाएंगे. So this formula is simply the sir, this is the sum of the first n natural numbers. So that will be just n into n plus 1 by 2. This is here. You can see that. आप सबको दिख रहा है?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Good.
sir.
So this 1 upon n कहीं चला नहीं जाएगा. This is already here. Okay. ये जो लिखा है नीचे दिख रहा है आपको? Now this n gets cancelled with this n. So what is the final value? That is simply n plus 1 by 2. Is this step clear?
Yes,
Very
sir.
simple. Good.
Yes, sir.
Good. So whether it is x or whether it is y, I don't mind, because for the data x and y, I am having only the same data 1, 2, 3 and up to n. So I can write very easily x bar is equal to y bar is equal to n plus 1 by 2. Keep it on one side. इसको एक बाजू रखिए थोड़ी देर के लिए. What next? Next we have to find out that what is sigma x square, suppose. Now this formula we have already seen. क्या पढ़ा है आपने? 1 upon n summation I is equal to 1 to n xi square minus n times x bar का square. ठीक है? Now what is this formula? This is xi square first. इसको थोड़ी देर के लिए छोड़ दो अभी. Just leave it for a moment. So what actually we are writing is something like this. xi square का मतलब क्या होगा? If these are the xi values, this is 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square plus कहाँ तक जाएंगे? n square. So this is the formula which I have written here. So this is 1 square, 2 square, 3 square and n square. Can you get some idea? आपको कुछ समझ में आ रहा है कि ये क्या लिखा हुआ है? This is what? This is the sum of the squares of the first n natural number. Again a well-known formula. किसी को याद है? जैसे आपने यहाँ लिखा, यहाँ पे आपने क्या लिखा था? This was the sum of the first n natural number. सीधी सी बात. n into n plus 1 by 2 over. Now if I square it, तो वो फार्मूला भी वेल नोन फार्मूला है.
Yes, sir.
क्या आता है? किसी को भी याद है? हल्का सही. If not the correct.
Sir.
हाँ.
N into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 upon 6.
Very good. बिल्कुल सही फार्मूला. So what next actually we are going to write is this only, जो तुमने कहा अभी, n into n plus 1 2n plus 1 by 6. ये जानबूझ के मैं आपसे पूछ रहा था कहाँ से लाए भैया? कहीं से लाए नहीं. This is a well known formula. So we have just written it here. Right? So this is 1 upon n into n plus 1 2n plus 1 upon 6. ये सब आपने देख लिया. And this is simply n plus 1 by 2 का whole square. ये formula है. So this is just I have kept it here. होल स्क्वायर कर दिया इसको. नाउ एक स्टेप आपको करना पड़ेगा जो मैंने यहाँ नहीं दिखाया है. इसको सिर्फ n कट जाएगा. दिस विल बी n plus 1 2n plus 1 अपॉन n माइनस n plus 1 अपॉन, ये छूट गया था, 2 स्क्वायर कर सकते हैं, कोई बात नहीं. इसको आप सिंप्लीफाई करेंगे तो आपको मिलेगा n स्क्वायर माइनस 1 by 12. बट दिस इज बिकॉज वट एवर इट मे बी, whether it is x or whether it is y, right? Just a moment. एक मिनट रुकिए. So this is what I was telling, whether it is say x or whether it is y, how does it matter? This then x and y will take the value 1, 2, 3 and so on up to n. So if I am finding out sigma x square without loss of generality, I can replace x by y. So it will also here become y, it will also become here y. So in that case, whether it is sigma x square or whether it is sigma y square, the value will be the same. Value will be the same. So what do you get? Whether sigma x square is n square minus 1 by 12, whether sigma y square it is n square minus 1 by 12. Just like आपको यहाँ पे जो आपने यहाँ लिखा था कि x bar is equal to y bar is equal to n plus 1 by 2. तो x हो या y हो, doesn't matter, it is the same value. Now because we have assumed, आपने जो है बड़े उसमें बोल्ड में लिखा था कि assuming that there are no ties, अगर टाई नहीं है तो xi कभी भी yi के बराबर नहीं होगा. So in general we are saying that xi is not equal to yi, and suppose we define a new quantity di which is xi minus yi. Of course you can very easily understand from here that if xi is equal to yi, di will be 0. That means it is exactly the same rank. So for that only we are assuming mathematically I am saying that xi is equal to xi not equal to yi. जब आप कहते हैं इसका लैंग्वेज में मतलब ये होता है कि there is no tie. So if this is di, there is a trick now. What is the trick? I am subtracting x bar here and I am subtracting y bar here. जरा देखो ऐसा क्यों कर सकते हो आप? x bar की वैल्यू क्या थी? n plus 1 by 2. y bar की वैल्यू भी क्या थी? n plus 1 by 2. So if I put it here and if I put it here, so here it is a minus sign and here minus जब आप अंदर लेंगे तो this will become plus sign. So actually n plus 1 by 2 will get cancelled. So di remains only xi minus yi. But this is for some manipulation I am doing it. And this is very common in mathematics that you add something and you subtract something, the same thing. Add a, subtract a, something like that. So di is equal to this because I have written because x bar is equal to y bar is equal to x bar is equal to y bar is equal to n plus 1 by 2. Right? So this is the value of di. Now if this is the value of di, just like suppose this is some constant a, if not constant, any value a, this is b, let us square it. Right? So what first thing is that we square and then second thing is that we take the summation. So there are two things which I am doing from this step to this step. Just for a moment you forget about this summation sign. Just concentrate that there is some di square. Okay? If this is di square, what is di? Just here. xi minus x bar minus yi minus y bar का square. So this is a minus b whole square sort of a thing. What is the formula? A square plus b square. क्या प्रॉब्लम है? हाँ मैं आऊंगा अभी मेरा
सर आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही।
Yes, sir. सर म्यूट है. हाँ.
सर नो कद बंद है।
सॉरी, हाँ मेरा म्यूट था, यू आर राइट। हेलो, अब सुनाई दे रहा है?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
यस
हाँ,
सर
sorry,
Yes,
thanks
sir.
for reminding. अच्छा किया तुमने
Yes,
बताया,
sir.
एक्चुअली वो बीच में मैंने म्यूट किया था, एक फोन आ रहा था। कोई बात नहीं, मैं फिर से यहाँ से शुरू करता हूँ। I will start from here again. So see, is it okay up to this point? यहाँ तक जो मैंने आपको बताया समझ में आता है? di square. See, we start. यहाँ तक तो आवाज सुनाई दे रही थी ना मेरी आपको? di is xi minus x bar yi minus y bar, because these two quantities are same, so I am adding and subtracting the same quantity. Is it comfortable?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so next thing was that we have just squared it and we have taken the summation on both the sides. So if I square it, it will be xi minus x bar minus yi minus y bar ka square. Now this is something like a minus b whole square. So the what will be that? There will be a square plus b square. ये गलत है, मैं फिर से कह रहा हूँ, यहाँ माइनस साइन आएगा, गलती से प्लस हो गया है, minus 2ab. So this is a, this is b. Now we divide by n on both the sides, left hand side as well as the right hand side. If I divide it by n, so it will become 1 upon n summation over I is equal to 1 to n di square is equal to first term 1 upon n summation I is equal to 1 to n xi minus x bar square. हाँ, लेक्चर में हूँ, 1 बजे फोन करता हूँ। अच्छा, एवरीथिंग इज फाइन। 12:30 से 1 के बीच में बात करते हैं, अभी लेक्चर खत्म कर लें, है ना? और आज मैं डिपार्टमेंट भी जाऊंगा तो मैं बात करता हूँ। हाँ हाँ, so what we have is 1 upon n summation xi minus x bar square plus 1 upon n summation yi minus y bar square minus 2 times 1 upon n summation xi minus x bar into yi minus y bar. Now in notations, what is this? Because it is in terms of x, so we write sigma x square. In terms of y, so this is what we write in some sigma y square. And जैसे यहाँ पे आप कहेंगे सर ये माइनस कहाँ से आ गया, एक्चुअली माइनस ही था, गलती से प्लस हो गया, so it will correct. So what will happen, this ये जो वैल्यू है, this is the covariance between x and y. We will write minus 2 times covariance between x and y, right? Now we use the formula of correlation here, because you know that correlation was covariance upon under root variance of x by variance of y. तो covariance की वैल्यू क्या होगी, हम क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई कर दें, so that will be simply 2 times r sigma x sigma y. So what I get, sigma x square sigma y square minus 2 times r sigma x sigma y. But sigma x sigma y सेम ही है, therefore sigma, क्यों? क्योंकि sigma x square is equal to sigma y square. If this is true, this will just taking the under root, तो ऐसा हो जाएगा. Now put all these values here. क्योंकि सिग्मा x सिग्मा y के बराबर है, तो आप y लिखो चाहे x लिखो, दोनों की वैल्यू सेम होगी. तो आप, हम यहाँ क्या लिख रहे हैं, दिस इज 2 टाइम्स सिग्मा x स्क्वायर. कहाँ से आया, सिग्मा x स्क्वायर प्लस सिग्मा y स्क्वायर, बट दोनों सेम है, इसलिए दोनों में हम सेम, आप इसको x में भी लिख सकते हैं, y में भी लिख सकते हैं, राइट, डजंट मैटर. सो वी कैन राइट इज 2 टाइम्स सिग्मा दिस प्लस दिस, these values are same. So this is 2 times sigma x square minus 2r, आप लिख रहे हैं, और x इज इक्वल टू y है, तो सिग्मा x स्क्वायर हो जाएगा. नाउ फ्रॉम हियर टेक 2 सिग्मा x स्क्वायर कॉमन, तो अंदर क्या बचेगा, 1 माइनस r. दिस इज योर जमनी बाजू, दिस इज योर राइट हैंड साइड. ओके, व्हाट वाज द लेफ्ट हैंड साइड, इट इज दिस already 1 upon n summation I is equal to 1 to n summation di square. So what do we get? We get 2 times sigma x square into 1 minus r, which is from here. And now just you simplify this. Put the value of sigma x square. Sigma x square is n square minus 1 by 12. ऊपर आपने प्रूव किया हुआ, ये रहा. So just if I put it here and if I simplify here, finally I'll get the value of r is equal to 1 minus 6 times summation I is equal to 1 to n dx square, sorry di square divided by 2n sigma x square. Actually sigma x square की वैल्यू ही इतनी है. यहाँ से जब सिंप्लीफाई किया आपने, तो जब इसको आप सिंप्लीफाई करेंगे तो आपको ही मिलेगा. यहाँ से सिग्मा एक्स स्क्वायर की वैल्यू खाली यहाँ पुट कर दिया है और कुछ नहीं किया है. तो 2 है और 12 है, वो कट जाएगा, नीचे 6 रहेगा, 6 ऊपर चला जाएगा. नाउ दिस इज द रीजन दैट व्हाई आर यू गेटिंग 6 इन द फॉर्मूला, व्हाई नॉट 8 और 10. कोई दूसरी वैल्यू आपको क्यों नहीं मिली? क्योंकि डेरिवेशन पूरा मैंने आपको एक स्टेप समझाया कि r is equal to this and then finally we have substituted this value. So this is 1 minus 6 times summation di square upon n into n square minus 1, which you have got from here. So this is finally the formula for rs, which is 1 minus 6 summation di I is equal to 1 to n di square upon n into n square minus 1. This is each and every step of the derivation of the Spearman's rank correlation formula. Right? So this is how we can, of course, for a given data, practical करेंगे. For a given data, there will be some values of x and y. The only thing you have to calculate is the di value and you square it, and then you substitute it here, you will get the value of rank correlation. Remember always that why I am using and why I am emphasizing is that the idea of, just a moment here. हाँ. This is the basic idea, as I was telling you, of the Spearman's rank correlation. Fine. So anyways, 2-3 minutes are left out, so I am not going to start a new topic here. But remember that, as I have told you, very great assumption here is that there is no tie in the data. But again, as I have told you in many of my previous lectures, that data will come on its own. अगर टाई है तो आप क्या करोगे? फिर आप बोल दोगे, हाथ खड़े कर दोगे, नहीं अब नाउ आई कैन नॉट कैलकुलेट द कोरिलेशन. So there are certain alternative methods also, which definitely we shall start tomorrow, but at least you can see one line on your screen where I have written Kendall's rank correlation. So you can understand all these are the names: Spearman, Pearsonian, Kendall, right? So just one line before I stop for today. If there are ranks in the data present, then Spearman rank correlation cannot be calculated. However, we can go for another rank correlation calculation which was proposed by M.G. Kendall, and therefore it is known in his honor. It is known as the Kendall's rank correlation, and it is denoted by tau. This is just a notation. Okay, so anyways, before I close down, if you want to ask anything, again, as I told you earlier also, it may happen that the questions may not come to your mind immediately. And of course, whatever I have discussed yesterday, today, and whatever I am going to discuss, tomorrow I am going to upload all these pages. अभी भी क्योंकि कैंडल्स रैंक कोरिलेशन कैलकुलेशन बाकी है, इसलिए मैं पेजेस अपलोड नहीं कर रहा. But tomorrow I am going to upload all these pages from whatever is the number. You will get 35 to 47 or whatever. Okay. So we stop here for today's lecture. We shall meet again tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks. See you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.